Hi, Linda Sessions here, and I am your instructor for Business 121, Business Communications. And I apologize, but my camera is not functioning well today, so I'm not going to have it turned on. What you see on the screen here is Canvas, and this is from the instructor view, so it might look a little different than what you see when you go into Canvas, but the assignments and everything are going to be the same. So I'm going to scroll down here to Module 1, Business Communication and Intro to Artificial Intelligence, or AI. Now here is a video here, the intro video. Please watch that for more information about the class and some basic information going over the class. And right here, we're going to come into the Module 1 checklist. You'll have a checklist for each module. And right here, you're going to see in the very first screen here in the checklist, a little overview of what you can expect this week. Then you'll see learning outcomes, a little more information, a little more detail about what you can expect to be learning this week. So here in week 1, you're going to be learning about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. It is not going to go away. What I want to do with bringing artificial intelligence in this class is help you to learn a little bit more about it and how to use it as a tool. It's a tool to help you get your jobs done. When you go out into the business world, you are going to see it. It is out there. This week, just going to learn a little bit about what artificial intelligence is. And then we're also going to be looking at Chapter 1, the introduction chapter, and its introduction to business communication and your character. And why does your character matter when it comes to business communication? How does your character fit your communication style? The third screen here is the learning plan. You're going to be doing 3 different types of assignments, basically. The first one is where you kind of absorb the information. It's going to be new material. A lot of that's the reading that you'll be doing. And then you're going to be doing activities where you practice and apply your knowledge. And then you're also going to be connect activities, and that is where you demonstrate that you know the knowledge. Now, the assignments here in this first week of class, there's a quiz over AI, and the reading is here in the module. I'll show you that in just a minute. There's a discussion board where I want you to introduce yourself. There's a question: why does communicating character matter to me? It's worth 3 points, and it's just kind of gives you an overview of this particular module in your textbook. Then there is a read, Chapter 1, Introduction to Business Communication and Character. There are no assignment points to the reading. However, the reading will help you to be able to complete the concept quiz and the apply it quiz. All of the quizzes are open book, open note. But to really understand the information, you need to review the chapters, and we'll go over how you can do that here in just a minute as well. And then finally, I want you to write a speech about yourself. Don't want you to use AI for this speech. I want you to write a speech about yourself. And it's real simple. Go over it in more detail here in just a minute. So I'm going to go back to Module 1. The checklist is going to be in every chapter to give you an overview of what to expect in that module and what assignments are going to be in there. Now here's a discussion board. If you want to know the due dates for the assignments, you can look back at the syllabus. They're posted there, but they're also here in the modules. So you can see all of these assignments this week are due August 25th. Now don't wait until August 24th to start doing them. Go ahead and do them early, because you can see here on the discussion board, in order to, let's see, do I have you reply? Yeah. In order to receive full points, you need to reply to another student's post. Now, I don't want you to use AI on these discussion boards. I want the discussion boards to be your words, what you think, and especially this first one. I want to know what is your primary communication device? I know for me, it's my phone, and specifically my iPhone. I use it for phone calls. Use a lot of texting when I'm going around. Some people still have landlines in their home, and that's what they use. Some people prefer to use their laptops. Do you prefer email or instant messaging? Depends upon who I'm talking to. I want to know who you are. What program are you pursuing here at WSU Tech? Are you in business? Are you in interior design? Maybe you're in one of the trades here. Now, also, if you have something interesting about yourself you want to share with the class, that'd be awesome too. Y'all know I collect ducks. Do you collect anything? What's a little bit more about you? So you're not going to be able to see any other students' posts until you comment yourself. So you're going to have to click on the reply button at the bottom and post your initial post. Your original post should be about 30 to 50 words, probably about 6 to 8 sentences in length. Don't use I. Make sure that you use proper business English, use proper punctuation. You will be counted off if it's not correct. If I suspect you're using AI, then I will run it through some AI checkers. And if it's positive for those, then I will probably be contacting you and talking with you about that. I want these discussion boards to be your post. Use evidence or examples if possible. And if you're citing an article or citing something from the textbook, let us know what page you found it on in the textbook or what article you found the information from. When you reply to somebody, acknowledge their ideas. Be respectful. When you post your replies, be constructive. I don't want to see just, ooh, that was a good idea. I agree with that. Well, why do you agree with that? Post complete sentences, and please stay on topic. Some of these questions, it could be real easy to go down the rabbit hole and get into some political discussions, especially when it comes to some of the topics we're going to have later on. This is not a political science class. This is a business communication class. So we don't need to get political, but let's look at things at how communication, what do you need to do to communicate your ideas to somebody? And one of the ways I want you to make sure is business English, correct punctuation, correct grammar, proofread before you post, because you will lose points if there are problems either in your original posting or in your reply. If you post early in the week, then your classmates have something to post or to reply to. If everybody waits till Sunday, it's going to be more difficult for those students who finish stuff earlier in the week to have somebody to reply to. So some details on the discussion board. So this week, it's just really simple. Want to know, what are you using for the class? What's your primary communication device? And do you prefer email or instant message, and why? And a little bit about who you are. So that's a discussion board. Come back over here to the modules. And then down here in module 1, now you've got the student guide to AI. This is a document that I found online, and it has a lot of great information. You can actually download the PDF, or you can look at it here in this preview guide. I would recommend downloading it. I think it's just easier to see. You're just going to click on that button right there, and then you're going to see it's going to come right up here. I'm using Google Chrome, and right here's the Student Guide to AI 2025. This document was also created for 2024, if you want to do a search and go look at the 2024 one. There's lots of information in here. This is something that was put together by the where is it? Endorsed by them. There it is. Elon University and also the American College. So look at these. AI is transforming our world. It's all around us, right? Over here, table of contents, working with artificial intelligence. What does it mean for your education? Developing your skills, academic integrity, AI ethics, AI in your career, engaging with AI, learning more, and the acknowledgments. So clicking on this at the bottom will take you back to, it takes you right back to the Student Guide to Artificial Intelligence. Clicked on the wrong one. Sorry about that. Where did it go? That took me back to the actual website where I found this at. If you click over here on the AIU, it will take you back to the table of contents page. Here's working with artificial intelligence. What I want you to do with this one is to read through it. One of the things that I have heard people say is that they're scared of working with artificial intelligence. They're not comfortable working with Chat GPT or with Claude. It is here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. And it powers pretty much everything that we do today. The web, the search engines, it's here. It's important that we learn how to use it. How do we use it correctly? It's not human, but sometimes it can sound human. And sometimes it can feel human. And sometimes when you're doing prompts, it's real easy to forget that you're not dealing with a human, but it's a machine. It's an algorithm. People have put the information into it, and you are just putting in a prompt, a question, and it's bringing back the information to you based on your prompt. And we'll be learning more about prompts here next week. But what does AI mean for you? Here's some of the tools that you can use. Play around, look at some of them. Notebook LM, I'll be going more over that in a video here probably next week. Notebook LM is great for taking a PDF and making it into a podcast for you. If you look at my instructor welcome in the class, there is a podcast of my instructor welcome, and I made that using Notebook LM. And all I did was take a PDF of that instructor welcome letter that's written there, and then I put that into Notebook LM, and it created that podcast. I think it's awesome. It's just so much fun. Generative AI, you've got Chat, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, Copilot. Copilot is the one that you have in Microsoft Office. Now, Copilot, to use some of the Copilot, you have to pay extra. Chat GPT is free if you're limited to how many characters you can use on it each day. But if you max out your Chat GPT, then just go to another one. You can go to Claude, you can go to Gemini. There's different ones out there. Play around with some of them. Now, we're going to talk more about prompts next week, but here's just a quick guide about an effective AI prompt. You want to be specific when you're writing the prompt. Here's some different ideas on using AI for research. You can actually type something in and say, I need an outline for creating a workshop telling somebody how to bake a chocolate chip cookie from scratch. and it's going to give you an outline for that. So there's some guides here. There's some tools for academic research that are listed here. You've got more AI for writing. We just talked about that. And another one for AI for writing. Your role, what AI's role is. That's easy to say, right? It's just awesome. Go more into more depth as we go through the semester with this. So look through this, read through this. Here's some using AI for data, academic integrity in the age of AI. Again, I don't want you using AI for the discussion boards. If you need to use it to get an idea of what to say, that's fine. If you want to use it like as a prompt, but don't just copy and paste from AI. And when you're doing your papers, there's going to be some papers coming down that I want you to use AI, but I'm going to ask you to then also submit your prompts that you might use and what your transcript is that you got from AI. You're going to be submitting that as well as your own work in AI. So look through this guide to AI, and here back in the module, you're going to use that guide to help you with that what is AI quiz. There's, I think, 10 questions in there. And again, it's open. You can use that student guide to AI. That's where I got the questions from, was the information from that student guide to AI. Then you have, why does communication matter to me? When you click on this, it's going to take you to the textbook. And you're going to be doing some, answering some questions in the textbook. Then here is the text. So let's take a quick look at the textbook here in Cengage. And I want to give you a few tips on reading a textbook, how you can read for information. A couple of things you can see up here. Right over here, you've got these 3 dots. That'll take you to the table of contents for the textbook. If you click on the links in the modules for the different chapters, it's going to take you straight to that chapter. You can use this pen to annotate or edit your screen, what you're seeing here. Over here, this little icon is you can set it to read to you. So if you need to, you can bring it up on your phone and then you can have it read as you're driving. Here's, you can make your text larger or smaller, depending upon your vision. All right, here's the bookmark. And then you can actually print it if you want to. I don't recommend printing it. It's a lot of pages. Right here, we have our chapter review. So if I click on this table of contents, here's chapter 1. I've got my chapter introduction. You always want to go and look through the chapter introduction first. It's going to give you the learning objectives, and then it's going to give you a little bit of a story based on a real company and a real activity or a real situation based on what information is going to be they're going to be talking about in that chapter. In this case, they're talking about a company called Robinhood, and they're actually going to be fined for misleading communications. And that's what this is about. It's all about business communications. Once you've read through those learning objectives, you can come back over here to the table of contents, or you can click on this arrow and it's going to move you forward in the chapter. One thing I like about the chapter is it has different up-to-date information. So if you see these boxes, like this one's about character, you can go to this one for current communication examples. Now, communication demonstrates who you are as a person. It shows part of your character. It is something that you can learn. And that's what this class is all about, teaching you how to use your character, your words, and get them across in a business English style way. This particular one talks about your character, how you create it, how you can change it, how important your character is. You can click on again this arrow and go to the next page. You can also come back up here to the table of contents and you can look through the section headings. And you can look through each one. And the one like self-awareness and emotional intelligence, what is the difference in that? Maybe you don't know. You can click right here on this and go straight to that area. Have a notebook next to you as you're reading the chapters. And if something doesn't make sense, write it down. If something really stands out to you, write that down. If you've got something that's in bold in the chapter, you can click on it and it will give you a definition of that word and what it means. By looking through the chapters, paying attention to the boxes, the bold words, right here there are the 4 emotional intelligent competencies: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. By doing this and looking at the textbook like this, it's going to help you when it's time to go take those quizzes. As you look through, there's audience analysis. This is a big one I think a lot of people forget. They forget that when you are writing communication and you're sending something out, you need to remember who your audience is. Is it an educated audience? Are you sending something out to your classmates? Are you sending something out for a first grade classroom? Are you sending something out to a scientific club? It makes a difference on how you're communicating, who your audience is. What about the message and the medium? Choosing the different communication media. It's a big thing. I live in a huge HOA community. Most of them, we have a lot of older people in the community, and a lot of them do not use social media. Yet our HOA board insists on doing everything through social media. And half of the people, or more than half, aren't getting any of the information. And they refuse to change what they're doing. So the information is not getting to the people who need it. So who's your audience, and how do you need to get that information out to them are 2 very crucial parts of business communication. Down here at the end of each chapter, you've got a chapter closing, and then you also have a chapter review. So you always want to go back and look at that chapter review as well. I'm going to come back to the module. And here in module 1, you've got the Learn It quiz. You have flashcards first, and flashcards look at all of those bold letter words, and it just gives you a list of flashcards, and you can flip through them to familiarize yourself with the key concepts in the chapter and what the definitions are. That will help you with the Learn It concept quiz. It's worth 15 points. There are multiple choice questions, and you can use your textbook. It is open textbook. And then there's the Apply It as well, and it's worth 35 points. So the Learn It, you're kind of regurgitating the information that you've learned in the chapter, but the Apply It is going to give you some different scenarios, and how would you apply that information that you've learned and read in the chapter to that scenario. So this is all from reading the chapter. And finally, you have the speech about yourself. Now, this speech, I want you to think about yourself and say in 10 years or 5 years, depending upon your current age, think of a time in the future and you are being awarded with something like a Lifetime Achievement Award, what would that presenter say about you? And I want you to write that speech. It's a hypothetical speech, so you can make stuff up. I want you to think about where you've been, where you want to be, what type of leadership qualities do you want to develop, maybe some challenges that you're going to overcome or you have overcome. What about impact on others in the community? If you go back and look at some of the Lifetime Achievement Award speeches like they do at Academy Awards or the Oscars, kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So the speech is going to be delivered by a colleague. So you're going to write it not in the first person, but in the third person. And you want to talk about how you've positively influenced the colleagues or your workplace or the community. And you also want to introduce the context of the award. Again, this is a fictional award. And why is that speaker giving the award? Maybe it's the spouse, maybe it's somebody who heads up the award. And then you've got your main body, which is actually the details of how you positively influence the colleagues. That should be down in the main body there. And then you're going to have a conclusion and then introduce yourself, right? I want it to be 1 to 2 pages long, 12-point font, double-spaced. You can submit it as a Word document or a PDF. Make sure that your business English, you've got your punctuation, your formatting is correct, and don't want you to just use AI to write this. When you submit it, it does go through an AI and plagiarism checker. So it's going to look for those things as you submit it. And I will also be reading these. One thing I will tell you is I do read your submissions. I will make comments about them. If you lose points, I will tell you why I've taken points off. And I will be adding a rubric to this so you can see exactly how I'll be grading this. This is worth 15 points. Again, it's just 1 to 2 pages. Don't overthink it. It should be concise and it should be about you. If you have questions as you're working on the assignments this week, please reach out. We can do a phone call. We can meet in person. We can exchange emails. We can even do a Zoom session. Whatever communication method works best for you in your situation, I'm open to. Just reach out and ask. All of these assignments from Module 1 are due August 25th. So make sure you get them all turned in on time. Have a great week. Bye.